Understood. Everyone knew well enough just what the Cape was capable of. The Cordon Province branch alone had enough resources and influence to buy out the biggest media platform there was right now. If they were to gather all of Cape's resources in the entire country, there would be few international media brands that would be any match for them. That was why Faye had said those words so firmly. Yet, she had more to say. Send out a warning to the smaller anonymous news channels as well. If they dare to even post anything about Cape, we'll make sure they disappear from the internet forever. Got it. Communications. Yes. The head of the communications department stood up. Faye said coldly, hire whoever it takes to set up a task force to immediately beat down all possible allegations that might surface. Take down any and all comments against Cape and its owner or engage until they die down. Yes, everyone, be on standby right now, Faye ordered. Everyone in the room scrambled to their feet at once, hurrying to their desks. Faye leaned back in her chair, letting out a long sigh. The comments and the scores would not be a problem for now. After all, she had put out a warning and no one would dare to go against a force like the Cape Consortium with how powerful they were. But she could not just sit here and do nothing either. Faye pondered briefly before saying to her secretary, get me in touch with Chief Ball Hamilton. I'd like to speak to him on the phone. All right, I'll call him right now. Her secretary hurried out at once. Calling up someone like this in the middle of the night was honestly rather rude, but Faye could not care about that right now. A little over half an hour later, the secretary returned with a phone that she handed to Faye. I've got him on the line. Faye nodded, taking the phone. Over at the police station, Wilbur was brought into the interrogation room. He was sitting on a special chair with both his wrists restrained as well. Timothy and his two subordinates began the interrogation. Name? Wilbur Penn. Occupation? Unemployed. Timothy looked at Wilbur coldly. Unemployed? Aren't you from Cape Consortium? I don't hold a position in Cape, Wilbur replied calmly. He wasn't lying after all. He had indeed founded Cape, but was not in charge of running it at all. Only the higher-ups of Cape knew just how powerful Wilbur was to Cape. The team of guards who specifically worked under him was enough to stop anyone from getting any ideas. But there were only a few people who knew how powerful and terrifying Wilbur was. Timothy scoffed coldly. Shelby Seacrest made a report accusing you of sexually assaulting her. Did this happen? No, Wilbur said at once. Timothy's gaze was razor-sharp as he stared at Wilbur. Well, how do you explain the bruises on her body, the torn clothing on both of you, and your fingerprints everywhere? She ran to my room on her own in the middle of the night, trying to seduce me but failed. So she got closer and harassed me, and I got my fingerprints on her when I pushed her away. It was her who ripped the pajamas too, Wilbur said. Before Timothy could say anything, one of the policemen shouted, Do you think we're stupid? How dare you lie to us, as if anyone would believe what you just said. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm telling the truth, Wilbur said. Just then Timothy said coldly, But Miss Shelby Seacrest said the complete opposite. She said you made her come into your room and asked her to sleep with you. She rejected you, and you forced yourself on her. She fought back, then escaped after that to make a police report. She's trying to frame me. Of course she's going to make up a lie that suits her narrative,